And our second main topic today gets submitted to us by Vishima V, who writes, "Hello from Portugal." Well, hello, Vishima from Portugal. Hopefully our theaters will be opening later this month, but many things are still uncertain. Was very happy to hear that the box office win for Godzilla vs. Kong was also translating into increased stock prices for the movie theaters there. It says that almost all the companies saw their stock prices go up. Do you think this is a good sign for movie theaters in general? Thank you. All right. Thanks a lot for sending that in, man. And, we were talking yesterday, and of course, one of the big pieces of news in the movie world has, of course, been the results of Godzilla vs. Kong. Godzilla vs. Kong has now crossed $300 million already worldwide. It made close to $50 million in its opening 5 days, coming close to the opening 5-day total of Godzilla King of the Monsters, without being on HBO Max, without a pandemic, and without limited theater seating. So all that was good. But you're right. It also translated into good news, not just for Warner Brothers with Godzilla vs. Kong, but it translated into good news for the movie theaters. Rob, you mentioned on the show yesterday that some news had come out that AMC's stock price had gone up. Well, the stock price went up across the entire industry. This comes to us from the folks over at Variety, who writes, "The movie business may be poised for a post-COVID comeback. AMC saw their shares climb 13.4%. And it should be important to note here, this is not artificial growth like what we saw happen when it spiked up to like $20 a share. This is pure market growth. AMC saw shares climb 13.4%, while shares of Cinemark, another major chain, jumped 7.1%, and shares of Cineworld, the owner of Regal Cinemas, climbed 5.3%. IMAX, which has become a major source of box office for tentpole films like Godzilla vs. Kong, saw its shares increase 4.5% as well. Other theater-focused companies and chains, such as Marcus Corporation and National Cinemedia, which package advertising and pre-show programming to exhibitors, also got a stock lift, rising 4.8% and 4.4% respectively. Now, this isn't rocket science. I mean, Rob, I think for a long time, you and I and a lot of other people have said, once we start seeing the movies coming back, you're going to see stock prices probably rise. But, Rob, a lot of people hear the number 5%. You don't understand and think that's not much. And for a stock to go up 5% in like a day or two, that's actually a massive move. For it to go up like 13% over the course of just a couple of days is a massive move. Rob, you and I have been talking a lot about the fact that New York theaters reopening. It doesn't mean we're back, but it's a step in the right direction. LA theaters reopening. Not all the way back, but a step in the right direction. The advanced overseas sales of Godzilla vs. Kong. Not all there is, but it's a step in the right direction. Huge opening weekend for Kong vs. Godzilla. We're not back, but another step in the right direction. This thing with the theaters now seeing their stock prices, which means the investors, the public in general, gain more confidence in this industry. Again, we're not back, but it's yet another step in the right direction that shows they're heading this way. And now, of course, I think Warner Brothers might be regretting their decision to push. I understand their reasoning why they pushed Mortal Kombat one extra week. I do understand their reasoning, but they might be regretting it now because maybe they're thinking, man, we should just capitalize on this while it's hot. Anyway, Rob, you see this stuff that it's not just AMC, Cinemark, Regal. It's the extenuating industry as well. It's all going up right now. How do you see this, and what do you think the long-term ramifications of that are?
Well, look, I think it's only a good thing for exhibition. I mean, we've talked about this on the show so much that movies, a successful theatrical run for a motion picture adds value to that overall product. If something does well at the box office, that means people are aware of it. It generates more interest in ancillary markets, not just on HBO Max, but other VOD. People want to download it. People are excited about it because it was a success. And without that theatrical run, movies just don't have as much value as they did. So getting films back into movie theaters was vital. The question was, would people go back? Would they go back to the cinemas? I think with vaccinations happening, with COVID rates dropping, with people dying less, I mean, this is people, John, we love the movies. And we love the communal experience, and it's been taken away from us for over a year. And now to have it come back and to have movies like Godzilla versus Kong in theaters that people want to see on a big screen. I want to see dudes getting killed. I want to see Sub-Zero taking out dudes, man, on the big screen. And now maybe I'll be able to do that even if it's a week later. I think it's really important. And I mean, in a way, it's kind of a bellwether indicator that we're going back to maybe not quite normality, but we're on the road, John. And I think that this is a good thing. We don't want our businesses. How many businesses were devastated? I want AMC to come back. They invested $5 billion to make sure that we, as their consumers, were given a great experience in their theaters. I got to see Joker with you in the AMC Dolby in Burbank, and that was a primo experience going to the movies.
Yeah, that was a good experience.
Great picture, great sound, really well done all the way around by AMC. And then suddenly, sorry, all that money we invested in our own consumers, they can't come to our theaters. And to see them come back and to see stock prices rising, it's only a good thing. I just hope that people still get vaccinated and people can still go back to the movie theaters, because I got Fast and Furious, bruh. I want to see that. I want to see Dune. I want Justice for Han on the big screen, man. Come on now.
I just can't believe how excited I am for Mortal Kombat.
I know, right?
I was more excited for Godzilla versus Kong, but I mean, that Mortal Kombat trailer, I mean, it was just so bonkers. And you know what? Here's interesting. I wonder if, like, the pandemic never happened, how would a Godzilla versus Kong or a Mortal Kombat do? Because it's almost like, Aaron and I were talking about this the other day. It's almost like there's a perfect kind of fertile ground for it right now. It's like we have been so deprived of the big screen experience for so long that giant freaking kaiju Godzilla versus Kong or Mortal Kombat on the big screen. I mean, it just my mouth waters at the idea of getting into the theater to see these kinds of movies. And I think they're taking advantage of that.
You know how before you watch YouTube videos, they have ads?
Yeah.
Well, there's lots of Mortal Kombat ads before YouTube videos, and I keep up on other people's YouTube videos. I don't find myself clicking through them. I like to watch Sub-Zero. It's got the ice going, and I watch it. And I never thought that a Mortal Kombat movie would be something I would be looking forward to as much as I am.
Yeah, it is. It's crazy, right? How much I'm looking forward to Mortal Kombat. I cannot wait.
I know.
Get over here. All right, guys. Question is, you start seeing that now it's not just Godzilla versus Kong doing great. It's not just people going back to the theaters. Now the theater stocks, all of the theaters and their auxiliary industries, all their stock prices are rising back up again. Again, it does not mean we're there yet. There's still a long way to go, but it is nonetheless yet another step in the right direction that we've seen happening. Question is for you guys. How do you interpret this whole thing? Jump on down into the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. Okay, guys.